Alrighty, we have got Taya is now going to attempt to end the unbeaten run of Rebecca Hawkins, which no duelist so far, even the likes of Seto Kaiba, have not been able to achieve. Satellite Synchron, it's a interesting card. I have no idea what it does. Okay, so Taya and Rebecca. Rebecca wins rock, paper, scissors and is the first to go. So Taya, she does, I've been looking forward to this one because Taya does have a deck which can power up her cards very quickly. So we see Becca's drawn Hysteric, Fairy, Shadow Ghoul and Sangan. She's also got Ring of Magnetism and Card Destruction. So interesting starting hand. And it is a face down defense to start off for Becca. It is a Sangan that's gone face down. And Taya also a face down defense of her own. Interesting, there's Bubonic Vermin. And Hysteric Fairy is played. And a flip summon on Sangan. And Richard the Black Forest for Taya, which is a card that Becca also has played quite a lot. Alright, Dark Elf was pulled and Sangan goes in for an attack. So as this flips over, upcoming series that are in mind as we are attempting to pre-record a lot of these ones, these Duelist Kingdom ones particularly, as well as Becca's, so we can get more series out. Now the next one I have in mind likely will be Rebecca takes on Rebecca takes on Battle City. That is definitely up there as well. I wouldn't mind doing a Bandit Keith takes on Battle City as well, because we never actually got to see him during that arc. And some of the machine types of that arc are actually really cool as well. I would also like to do, I think after I can make a new deck slot, because I only have 32 available to me on the game itself. 16 have been occupied by the Duelist Kingdom contestants and 16 by the Battle City ones. Now, what we have done, we have pre-recorded all of Mokuba's duels. He's arguably the least important in Duelist Kingdom, and that's how we made the deck slot for Becca on one of the switches. So we're thinking about doing that again with another duelist, and I reckon I actually want to do a Jaden Yuki takes on Duelist Kingdom, but we'll reduce Jaden's deck power a little bit, because if he uses his GX deck, he will just wipe the floor with everything in front of him if he uses his GX deck. But with his normal monsters, he can have his elemental heroes like Avian, Burstinatrix, Clayman, Sparkman, and we can put a couple of his fusions in, maybe like Flame Wingman. To be honest, I know the look of, wasn't Thunder Giant, the one with Clayman and Sparkman, but yeah, put in a couple of those fusions as well, but maybe just his very early GX ones. Maybe see if we can constitute some good duels between them. Because some of Jaden's magic and traps were also way too strong for Duelist Kingdom, so we'll give him like a Duelist Kingdom sort of like magic and trap deck with some of his key monsters and maybe some equip cards that would benefit the elemental heroes. We'd go searching for some of them, as well as we see Shadow Ghoul come to the field. Dark Elf is down, so all card destruction. That's with a Morphing Jar in hand as well, but that will get more monsters to Becca's graveyard, which will give Shadow Ghoul the points that it needs to get over Dark Elf. So it's a good play. There's a Magic Jammer as well that will upset the activation of any Dark Holes or Monster Reborns or anything like that, as we see Dark Elf is destroyed. And Taya's down to 4,800 points. Becca's still at 7,800. So unless Taya can really draw her Hoshin her light monsters and her equip cards, she won't be able to beat Becca, as we see a Dark Hole, but Becca is ready, as she has done so many times before. There goes a bubonic vermin. It's another monster to the graveyard, so Shadow Ghoul gets another little attack boost as well. Okay, we've seen Skelengle. I could also do other GX characters as well to take on Duelist Kingdom with their decks reduced a little bit. Chumlee has a very Duelist Kingdom-esque deck. And Cyrus, he could be interesting as well. Again, I'll need to put in some research behind the decks as well to make them custom into Duelist Kingdom, but we could see some really fun matches between them. As we see Chorus of Sanctuary. So all defense monsters are increased by 500. That's inclusive of opponents, and Ancient Elf. I thought maybe that was supposed to go to defense, but no, it gets rid of Stuffed Animal. Prevents another attack from happening. Although Taya will lose another 950 points, says reload. Skelengle's in hand now as well. And Becca will opt to utilize the effect of Skelengle. Alright, Taya down to 3850, and she's starting to look a bit bleak here. She's got a 2400 Shadow Ghoul staring straight down. She's already lost her Dark Hole. There's Red Medicine. That's a 500 life point increase. And a face down defense. There is Commencement Dance. Taya really needs Spirit of the Harp. So Skelengle will allow Becca to draw another card, and it is Dark Core, but you need the enemy monster to be face up to activate that. Okay, it is Angel Witch that's destroyed, and Skelengle now will go in for a direct attack. Taya down to 3,450. 3450 plays 7550. So it's going to be unlikely that Taya does get the win in this first match. Like I said, she would have to draw her equip cards, and she's got quite a few of them. She's got Malevolent Nuzzler, I think she's got Elf's Light. She's also got, what's that one that does 700 for a light monster? Or is it 500 and decreases their defense by 400? I don't know. There's too many cards floating around in my head. But yes, she does have quite a few equipped cards available, but it doesn't look like she's really drawn any of them in this match. Commencement Dance is binned to get rid of Fairies' Gift. And if Sangan and Shadow Ghoul both attack here, Taya's life points will come to 0. So unless that face down is something that Taya can block with, she is gone this turn. And there it is. First victory for Rebecca. Alright, we will go into match number 2. Taya and Rebecca, with Rebecca up 1-0. Who beats her? If Kaiba doesn't, Taya certainly is capable. Remember, she did go quite far in the Duelist Kingdom pre-season. That was contested against Taya and Joey. Joey, on the other hand, hasn't actually done that well in the season. He's like, I think last time I checked, he was ranked 11th out of the 16 or so. So he's not doing well. Taya was about 4th, I think, from memory, 4th or 5th. Okay, another decent starting hand for Becca. Monster Reborn, Sangan, Hysteric Fairy. There's a reload and a de-spell there as well, as Taya is first to go on this one, and she plays Fairies' Gift. A flying monster. This flying monster is known for delivering happiness to all. Well, isn't that nice? You know what? All the normal monsters have those like fun descriptions with them. Unfortunately, effect monsters don't get that. They don't get like a little backstory or a little description about them. That's why I like the normal monsters. You can almost make up like a story between them as you play as Hysteric Fairy, who to me looks like a librarian. What would Hysteric Fairy's description be? This fairy finds everything terribly amusing and dislikes children who put his library books back in the wrong spot. Something like that. No, it doesn't have to be kids. I mean, anybody can visit a library. And dislikes humans who puts his library books back in the wrong spot. Speaking of kids' books, anyone ever read The Rainbow Fish? That was like a staple library book back in Australia. Same with, my favourite book as a kid was The Tortoise and the Hare. Fun times as we see Sangan come to the field and Becca activates Reload, so she throws Shadow Ghoul back in for the time being. Oh, there's Polymerization, Witch of the Black Forest. So she'll get a Sandwich out. And there it is. Sandwich comes to the field. It's a 2100. Sangan's effect activates as well, so Sangan will be able to pull... Oh, she's gone for Morphing Jar. That'll be able to refresh her hand as well. So Hysteric Fairy goes in for an attack against Happy Lover. And now Sandwich in for the attack. 2100 off Taya for 5500. I was thinking, should I do a series with Johnny Steps and recreate his deck, but I think I might pass on that one. I don't know, what does everyone think? But Johnny Steps, he only ever played in one duel and his deck was, I mean, he only went through about 4 cards before he gave up. What did he use? He used Water Omotics, he used Spirit of the Harp, he fused Musician King, and that was about it. And then he gave up because he found out that he was dueling Yugi. He's like, I'm a dancer, not a duelist. Then Taya chewed him out, and then he was like, hey Taya, thanks for being honest. And then that was the last we ever saw of Johnny Steps. As Hoshiningen is played, it's a 1000, oh, there's a black pendant. It reduces dark monsters too, but inadvertently it has also increased the strength of Hysteric Fairy, because that is also a light monster. So Taya has thrown everything onto Hoshiningen. She's managed to get rid of Sandwich, but that was all the cards in Taya's hand, so she got one to 2200. But Hoshiningen's effect, not enough to get over Hysteric Fairy. Down goes Teddy in that stuffed animal as sets down Ring of Magnetism and plays D-Spell. Plays on Malevolent Nuzzler. Taya basically can't pay 500 life points to get it back to the top of her deck now. And flips up Morphing Jar, so each player will draw 5 cards, both their hands are empty. And that probably helped Taya more than anything. But Becca now does have Negate Attack, and she's also got Dark Hole. Her mascot magic card of Dark Hole. Hysteric Fairy attacks. Taya down to 2600. Black Pendant will take 500 off Becca. 12 and 7 is 19, so Taya is going to have 700 points after this, I think. Yeah, 700 points. And this one is just about done. Taya will get one more turn in to try and change things around, but it looks like it's going to be a convincing victory. She did get some of it. Oh, hello. Dark Hole, just as Becca likes to play. Well, Becca has just lost her field, and she hasn't got that much. Oh, there's Fairy of the Spring as well. Gets an equip card back, and it's Malevolent Nuzzler. And she plays Red Medicine. Has she got a monster? A good one that she can equip with... Okay, that's Witch of the Black Forest. And she went with 2 face down spell or traps. We know... Oh, that's right. Fairy of the Spring. The equip card you bring back, you can't play at that turn. That's written in that card effect. That's also a real big downer because, you know, pretty handy if you can pull a 700 back and equip it straight away, but that's not the case for Becca right now. Sorry, Taya. What does she go with here? She goes with her Spirit of the Harp. That's what Becca goes with. She does have Dark Hole, so she can clear the field as well. Taya only with 1200 life points as well. As Witch of the Black Forest is tributed for Dark Witch. And Witch of the Black Forest's effect activates. And it is Hourglass of Courage, as we see that come to Taya's hand. And Malevolent Nuzzler is played, so Dark Witch is now at 2500. This is what I was talking about. Taya can get very strong cards out with her equip cards. There is a negate attack if she chooses to activate it. And she doesn't, so Spirit of the Harp is destroyed. Becca does still have Millennium Shield, but with that Dark Hole in hand, Becca is very dangerous right now. She only needs 1200, and there's Fissure as well. Well, better off using Fissure. It'll get rid of Dark Witch and Malevolent Nuzzler. Taya's only got only 1200 points. She can't really elect to pay 500 points and put it to 700, as it was a good decision. Bubonic Vermin, which means that face down probably isn't anything for Taya. If she didn't want to pay 500 points, and she didn't, she's down to 300. Can she somehow find a way to make some miraculous comeback here? Not really, because Taya, unknowingly for her, there's a Skullingel and a Dark Hole, so Becca can just play Dark Hole. It doesn't matter what Taya plays here. And then Skullingel can play and wipe out the rest of Taya's points. There's Sangan as well. No, Becca is so evil. She just wants to play a little bit. This is, oh, it's Hourglass of Courage. I mean, this is so evil from Becca. She's like, I can win it now. I just choose not to. I just want to poke my opponent and make them suffer just a little bit more. As Hourglass of Courage now comes to attack mode. Can destroy Bubonic Vermin. All that just to activate negate attack. Is she trying to say to Taya, even if you could attack me, you couldn't win? We may be looking at the most evil duelist. The most evil, good, fake, kind-hearted duelist of all time. This time, she just goes, alright, here we go. Dark Hole, enough playing around, Teddy, I'm bored, let's go home. Down goes Sangan. And this one is done. Unless Taya can block. And she doesn't. Becca, again, with a convincing win. She only has Keith, Joey, Yugi, and Pegasus remaining. So, who beats her? She's only got 4 more wins to get to a perfect run of Duelist Kingdom. So, her next one will be Bandit Keith, as that's what Joey sort of played. And as she versed Maya earlier on, she beat Maya as well. So, thanks everyone for tuning in. Becca's series for Duelist Kingdom is almost done. And yeah, I think I'll do a Jaden Yuki one. I really want to see him in Duelist Kingdom with a Duelist Kingdom deck. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for leaving all the comments wherever you are in the world. Stay safe. Take care. Farewell.